My favorite car to race has been an Indy car. I raced in Formula 3 cars, Formula 2 in Europe, Formula Super V's, which is like a Formula 3 car, and in GTP cars, Group C cars, but my favorite car has always been the Indy car. Well, I think the best memory for me in racing is winning my first Indianapolis 500, which was also my first IndyCar race, so that's always going to stand out in my memory as my fondest moment. No, not really. I enjoyed them both. In the beginning I was a little bit scared on the Elvis, to put it that way, because they were just really intimidating and with the high speeds involved. And but I got, I increased my knowledge of how to make the car work better, and once I had that figured out, I really enjoyed the Elvis. As a youngster, try to surround yourself with people that really know how to sell you as a driver, sell your personality, sell your speed, and your talent. But it's not an easy road. Well, I had spotters that spoke so much that I basically got fed up with them, and I would just pull the plug out, and they were always wondering. After the race, they would come to me and they say, we couldn't talk to you anymore, we couldn't hear you. I said, no, that's right, it must have been the radio. And I got fed up with their blabble, and I just pulled the plug. Another funny story is, it's not funny for me, but at the start of the race here in Indianapolis in '97, I took the lead going into one, and down the back straight, the guy was yelling in my ear that the track was covered in oil in turn 4, so just before I arrived at turn 4, I was looking to find anything on the track. I couldn't really see it, but I was thinking like, man, I don't want to spin out on the first lap, so I just got out of the throttle a little bit, and I got passed right away. And there was no oil. It was just because I had a spotter who had never been a spotter before. He didn't really know what he was looking for. So it was funny, but not so funny. I like tracks like Indy. I like the Phoenix Oval. I loved racing at Elkhart Lake. Enjoyed Laguna Seca a lot back then. I thought Sebring was a great track to drive the sports cars on. But I don't really have a favorite track. There's a lot of them, but I think Dario Franchitti at Indianapolis in particular has something, and that little bit of something that a guy has over another person, another driver, doesn't have to be much, but it could make the difference. I think Dario has that, and Helio Castroneves. I think those two in the IndyCar series, without looking through the whole list of drivers, they just kind of pop up in my head as being the guys to watch for. Well, when I was really young, I was a fan of Jim Clark. When I was like 8, 9, 10 years old. Funny, believe it or not, I was also a big fan of Emerson Fittipaldi, and when I told him that, he said, I'm not that much older than you are. I go, well, yeah, you are. You're about 6, 7 years older than me, but and these drivers I just liked for their personalities and the way they kind of had their swagger, so to speak, like Mario Andretti, and always liked to watch Keke Rosberg. I used to like his aggressive style, so I liked Jackie Stewart also a lot back then, probably because he had long hair like I had. But and even now I look at some guys that I really admire for their skills, and there was some talk about Sato in the meeting, but I think he's really come a long way, and for him to almost win 2 races back to back is pretty impressive.